and welcome to Noobs in Progress. My name is Nathan, and I am your host. Here with me I have...
Ethan Murphy, Nathan's friend, Nathan Beatty's friend. Wow,
Yes,
it's been a while.
sir, yes. It has been a long time.
As you can tell, if you can see us, it's been so long. We've been doing this for so long with each other that we actually resemble each other now. It's getting more and more so we'll be indistinguishable, as I've always dreamed of.
Yes. We're just, like I said, we're merging. So hello. So how have you been, Ethan?
My friend, I've actually, with everything, even though the world is ending every way it possibly can, I've been doing pretty good. I've actually gone on a few COVID dates, which are exactly like they sound.
Was that dates with COVID? Like,
I never kiss and tell. Yes. The best part is one of the dates. I mean, she'll never hear this. But one of the dates was literally. She's like, we realized like it probably needs to be safest if we just went back to her place. So I met her online, talked to her for who knows how many weeks or a month or so, and we said it's safest to avoid the crowds if we just go back to her place. So it's like, wait a minute, a first date with someone you met online is safest at your apartment? COVID, thanks. I think.
Oh my!
Right. So it was entertaining. I'll put it that way.
Oh my goodness!
And then also because of COVID, I get unemployment, so I can write from home full time, and I've done it's been a lot of fun. You've experienced some of the things I've been writing today as we did a read through of script stuff. So it was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too.
It was a lot of fun. For those of you who have not heard Nate Beatty's assortment of voices, you are missing out. My friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I was saying before we hit record. I kind of hit a point where my brain was like, okay, this is just the way the world is now, and so you just need to get over your shit, and that's what I did. Like so barring any other complete insanity, I'm hoping that I'm kind of operating at a normal pace, but we shall see.
Well, you, my friend, since I've seen you a few times on camera since this all began, and talked to you several times, you definitely seem more at peace and more, you have some color in your cheeks and look handsome as always. So, yeah, you seem to be, the new normal seems to be, you seem to be adjusting to it pretty well.
This is apathy, just straight. Like...
love and marriage.
And it's, if you think about it, Al Bundy actually, like, despite the fact that he was he seemed kind of like a jerk. He actually was a really good dad. Like, he just, worst came to worst, he just, he fought for his family, and he was a little bit of a jerk himself, but he was a good guy down deep down. But that's the moral of today's story.
That's the moral of the story. Thanks everybody. By the way, this show, I don't know if we've said anything about what the show is.
No, because why would we? Why would ever? I know. I follow. I'm just going to continue doing it just because it's going to annoy people. I follow a podcast Reddit, and like one of the top complaints is, I hate it when the hosts spend like the first 15 minutes talking about their lives and they won't get to the topic. I figure the way around that is just don't tell them the topic, and then
Nice. You play chess. My friend.
3D chess.
3D chess. What's that Star Wars chess where the monsters slam each other down? It's like, how does this game work exactly?
Just
Chewbacca?
let the Wookiee win. That's all that matters. Just let the Wookiee win.
Right on.
So do you want to tell us about what this show is about? Because you're the one that came up with it.
Well, no, you blame me already. Blaming me. So I will tell the people what the show is about, and then I will let Nate and his beautiful self host it, because that was the deal. I figured if we're both going to go to prison for this, we might as well both be 50-50. The idea of this show is that it has been recorded that Nate is infamous, if not legendary, for the amount of things he has not seen because of his children or his wife or his beauty. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to have a chance for Nate to catch up on some of the things he's missed, whether they be TV shows, movies, video games, the outdoors, whatever it is. We're going to experience it as noobs, more or less. Sometimes it actually be Nate hasn't seen it. Sometimes I haven't seen it. Sometimes both of us haven't seen it or experienced it. But either way, it'll be something new to at least one of us, and then we'll go ahead and actually discuss what it is. Let's discuss what our thoughts were on it. Discuss why it's referred to or thought of as being somewhat of an iconic thing that people should have seen or should have experienced, and we'll just hopefully it'll be a fun conversation. Nate and I have been friends for it's going on 8 years, and oftentimes, even when we do agree on something, we agree on it from a different point of view. So our conversations we always have fun, kind of comparing and contrasting just about everything and anything.
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to do with this show.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because it's definitely going to catch me up on some stuff. Like it kind of became a bit of a meme with our show in Creativity in Progress, because while we would be talking about something and you and Ari would be like, hey Nate, have you seen such and such? And I like, I don't know, I've heard of it.
And then a shortcut developed where we would just, if Ari or I brought up a show or a movie, we would just also say, "Oh, sorry, Nate, we know you haven't seen this." We wouldn't even bother asking. And Nate was never offended because, like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, it just got to the point like in the early 2000s, like it was like 2004, I want to say 4 or 5. I just like up to that point, I consumed everything. If it came out, like there were a few like genres and stuff that I just didn't go near, but everything else, it was just like, rah, rah, rah. And then like 2004, 2005, I was like, I'm full. And it just kind of, I just stopped. And, and like, and every now and again, I'll get the urge and I'll dive in and I'll watch a couple of movies and such. But I'm sure there was a point in time, like in 2006, 2007 era, where I probably went a whole year without going to a movie theater. Like it was,
I refuse. Now, here's another thing. Your kids, as beautiful as they are, they were not around in 2006, 2007.
Nope. Yeah,
so this was somebody else. This wasn't them.
This was just me. Yeah, this was just like, for some reason, I think a big part of it was I actually do think I kind of OD'd on entertainment. I kind of got to a point where I could watch a movie or a show and it would be maybe 15, 20 minutes into it. And like, this is going to sound pompous, but I would know what the plot would be. And sure. 9 times out of 10, I'd be right. And so it got to the point where I was like, well, if I know what the plot's going to be, why should I waste my time watching the rest of it? So I just kind of was like, and I did theater and did other stuff, and to take up my time, video games. I did a lot of video games. The kids killed the video games. That's what they.
Okay, fair enough. Blame them for the video game loss. Yes. But in all fairness to Nate, you are bizarrely good at predicting movies, either twists or plot holes, or not plot holes, but plot developing, plot points, that kind of stuff. And you've been really good about it. You don't play your hand. You never because I've seen movies in the theaters with you before. You never say, "Oh, I bet this is going to happen," or that kind of stuff. You just sit quietly and just absorb it. So that's cool.
The biggest feather in my cap is Usual Suspects. Spoilers for Usual Suspects.
You figured that out?
Oh yeah, I figured that out in the first. And now admittedly I did watch it like 6-7 years after it came out. I did not know who Kaiser Sose was, but I picked out who it was from the first scene on the ship. And it was
told me this story. That's right.
It was from the way Kaiser Sose checked his watch, and just by the way he checked his watch, I knew who it was, and and I didn't say anything. And it was funny because my buddy who I was watching it with said, "So when did you figure it out?" And I was like, "First scene." He's like, "No way!"
and wasn't that Eric?
No, it was actually my buddy Ben. I don't know. Did you?
Yes.
Did you meet Ben?
I knew of Ben because he was in Bent, right? Yeah, that Ben. Yeah. I knew of him.
Yeah,
he's legendary too.
Yeah, he
was but the thing about that though, I remember he was upset because you figured it out so early. He's like,
Yeah.
part of the fun of a movie like that is you want the person to be surprised at the end.
Yeah.
When they aren't, you see the wind's taking it out of the sail. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, but that's the thing. Like that's why I usually like with that I kind of didn't want to tell him that I knew that early because I kind of knew he would get upset, but I didn't want to lie.
No.
But and I know like some people aren't going to believe me, but it's true. Like I was like, that's who it is. That's who I know.
Sure. No, it's fun.
But yeah, but that's kind of one of the things that I do like about the idea of this show is that we can do that and then we can talk about it. We can talk about stuff like that, which I think is fun. So I'm gonna let you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I have to ask a question. So
Sure.
as I mentioned earlier, that Nate. So what we were working on earlier today was that Nate. We're doing a read through of one of my scripts that we're doing for this. We're going to record on tape. And long story short, he's a voice actor in it, one of the characters. You haven't read the script yet, the full part that you're working with. You're reading it kind of as it's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Have you already figured out exactly where it's going to go?
Not yet, because I will admit I didn't I pretty much read what we did today,
right?
And I think I read the first scene, like the first comic. I think you had sent me the script of the first issue for me to
different part of it,
part of it. I've read that and that, so I don't and because I don't have the visuals either, I'm still like I'm not sure. Good. So I'm interested. Good. I'm interested. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And everybody, when it comes out and we tell you about it, you all should go read it and buy it and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where it goes.
So. Well, they do have it here at the Library of Congress with or I guess at the Film Institute. Mm-hmm. Any production that Nate wasn't able to foretell every inch of it is in the Hall of Fame. So if I can get my stuff to have it where you cannot tell every last detail that happened, then I get it. I get it. So my life goal.
Yes.
All right. But I think I cut you off. You were saying something very important.
Well, I was going to let you tell the audience because what we're going to do. I'll explain the format. And then I'm gonna give you the honor of telling what the first thing is gonna be. So right. what we're gonna do is every other week we are going to watch a thing, be it a movie. Most of the time it's gonna be movies. It might be if we can cram it in a television show. We'll let you know. And that either one of us haven't seen or both of us. We may also have guests as well. And we are going to watch the thing and then come together and talk about the thing. What we're going to do in the interim weeks, and that's what this episode is let all of you know what we're going to watch to give you a chance to go check it out. So these are going to be shorter. Typically this one, not so much because we're talking about what this is. But we're actually going to let you know what we're going to watch for next week. And I'm going to let Ethan tell you because I'm so excited. I don't think I could do it without cracking.
So, ironically enough, after that buildup of making Nate a meme for not having seen anything, I am the one who hasn't seen anything. I am the one who hasn't seen anything. Who hasn't seen what we're talking about this upcoming week. So we actually put a Kaiser Soze on you guys. See how it all connected? We turned this off 10 minutes ago. The idea is that we're actually going to watch on Disney Plus. They're kind of doing like a video version of, or I guess a taped version of the stage production of Hamilton. Mm-hmm. So I've never seen Hamilton. I couldn't afford to go see it. I'm a penniless writer and it's up in New York and everything else, but I've always wanted to. And Nate has talked about Hamilton much, much more often than his own kids or wife to me.
Spoiler alert, neither have I.
You haven't seen your wife or kids?
Hamilton.
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
I have never seen Hamilton. I have heard Hamilton. Now, here's the thing. What? Hamilton is I can't remember what the actual name is, but it's like Les Miserables. It is completely sung through. So if you listen it's wall-to-wall music. So if you've listened to the soundtrack, you know the story. You just haven't seen it. There is one short minute song that didn't make it onto the soundtrack. I have heard it though because of me obsession.
Yes.
So I thought I threw a Kaiser Soze in on you.
Wow. So we're gonna get real deep with this metaphor right quick. Basically what just happened is, spoiler alert for The Usual Suspects. Basically Kevin Spacey was strolling down the street after he fooled which has Terry, and then all of a sudden Gabriel Byrne came out and shot Kevin Spacey in the face and got in the car because Nate just was supposed to be. Wow. Okay. So it turns out technically neither of us have seen Hamilton.
Yes.
I mean, literally neither of us have seen it.
Yes.
You have heard it and you know what it is.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen it.
And
now, are you going to watch on Disney Plus as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that's keeping me from the only thing that has kept me from watching it like 3 times since it released yesterday morning was the warden. She wants us to watch it together, and I'm totally cool with that because we discovered it together and we fell in love with it together. So want to see it. I'm really excited because this. Not only is it the filming of it, but it was I think it was the last week of the original cast.
That's what I know. It's the original cast.
Yeah, it's the original cast, and they actually, in fact, it's funny. Jonathan Groff, who plays the king, he
also in my hundreds.
Yeah, he had left. He had actually left. He had gone, and they got him back for that last week so they could have the full original cast. So he's in that. So I'm really excited to see this.
That's great.
Yeah. So I really can't wait.
Yes, and clapping for joy. That's cool. I love it. It's also it times out well because this is an example of where we are both genuinely noobs more or less to this. If you had seen it yesterday, it would have kind of spoiled this. And I almost watched it yesterday too, which spoiled it as well. So I'm glad we both ended up, ironically enough, we Kaiser supposed to be each other. We're in a Kaiser standoff, so to speak. That's well done. Okay, This will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. Because here's the thing. My perspective is it's been built up from afar by people like you and everyone else in the world who's seen it says it's one of the best things imaginable. Your perspective has been skewed because you've heard it so much but haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you talk to a very pretty girl or you talk to a lovely voice on the phone for a long time but don't know what she looks like, and then you open the door, it's like, I'm not sure what to expect. So let's see how this plays out. I'm curious to see what you'll think.
I'm really interested to see what I think there as well. And I'm going to be interested to see what you think because I'll admit I'm a little worried that you're going to have the what's that called? The problem.
Too much.
What's that?
Too much hype.
Yeah. Like I'm a little worried that you're going to be overhyped on it, and then you're watching, and you're going to be like, really?
Right.
But but I'm worried about that. But at the same time, like the nerd in me is like, I actually don't think so. Like I think because the beautiful thing about Hamilton is, it hits me on a couple of levels. Like one, I'm a theater person, so it gets me there. The musical theater piece of it. Lin-Manuel Miranda is a massive Broadway fan, so he sprinkled so many little like nods and things, but he did it in such a way that you wouldn't catch it unless you knew things about Broadway, and it's not obvious. But at the same time, the hip hop piece of it is amazing. Like he has thrown in homages to some of the great Tupac, Biggie, Busta Rhymes, Eminem, in fact, there are certain characters who, and I'm going to be interested to see if you can pick out which ones. There are certain characters who are connected to particular hip hop singers. And I'm going to be interested to see if you can pick out which ones, because it's just so good. I love it, and I'm trying not to hype it too much, and I am, and I'm sorry.
I was not hoping hyping too much. I'm very curious about it. I do look forward to. I mean, what might happen as well? We might have to record the next episode tomorrow because Nate can't stop. I can go another whole week without talking about it, which I'm fine with. I'm definitely fine with record the episode tomorrow. But I think on some level you're right. It'll be such a fascinating observation, regardless, because I get to experience something that so many others have experienced. Regardless, it's like, okay, this is kind of interesting just to see what it actually is. Now, one thing, of course, that's going to work against both of us is that we're not actually in a theater, theater.
Yeah.
Broadway watching it. But from what Lin-Manuel himself said was that he said it's the best. Basically, he said pretty much it's still a great experience. Is what he phrased. I can't paraphrase it properly, but he gave his definite seal of approval of it. So I think it will be, regardless of how much I love it or don't love it, it'll be entertaining. I won't be bored or fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, so. It's one of those. Yeah, it's just one of those shows that I remember when I first heard the soundtrack. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it because the concept, like the serious concept, is okay. We're going to have a rap musical, a hip hop musical about Alexander Hamilton.
Of all people.
Yeah, like and like now I say that and it doesn't. It's like, well, yeah, it's Hamilton. Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
Right.
But then it's like, what? And I started listening to it, and from from the first song, Alexander Hamilton, like it was just like, and I blasted through the whole soundtrack, and it was just unbelievable, just how it just sucked me in, and I didn't think it would. And it was just so I highly recommend anybody who's watching and listening to go check it out. It is it's, and if you have Disney Plus, it's free for if you're already paying for Disney Plus, you can just get it down, like watch it and you're good. But I highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out. Also, it's on Spotify, so if you have Spotify, you can listen to the music as well. So yeah, go consume it in any way that you can, because it's just, and also it's educational. Like there are some historical stuff, and I'll try not to get too much into it next week because I am a bit of a history nut. So I'll try not to get too nerdy on that. But where they he took Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Careful. You're the spoilers.
Yeah. Well, no, but like there were certain things that he did. He had. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but the book that he read was by Ron Chernow, and that was what inspired him to make the musical. Well, he actually got Ron Chernow to be a historical advisor, and yeah, and Chernow actually kept him honest for most of it. There were very few things that he tried to do that were not historically accurate that Chernow didn't pull him back on and say, no, that doesn't make sense. There's a couple, and I'll mention them next week. But I
as a trained expert.
Oh man.
By the way, folks, as Nate said earlier, most of the episodes we're doing, these pre-episodes, will be significantly shorter. At least I hope so. Although I doubt it. No, because if Nate has seen the movie or the show, he will do this. This will be him. He will try hard to fanboy or fangirl or fan both over it. Yes. But he will.
Unless it's something I hate, and then I'll be like, play me like you hated it.
Rage over it instead. But that's why I love him to pieces, because I love watching him. So this will be a fun one.
Yes.
Now, what'll be? Now, typically, what we're going to do is we'll have like a questionnaire as far as a boilerplate of being boilerplate. Words. Boilerplate words. I think I'm a writer. Of questionnaire as far as like some things that we might be looking forward to, or what to look out for, kind of stuff. Like, so for example, if we did, Usual Suspects. Do you think this movie has a twist? Or you may have heard, or what have you heard about it? Or who do you know that's already in this? Do you like this genre? Those kind of things to kind of tee up some expectations or whatnot, and then we can kind of go back over the questionnaire later on in the show, kind of put things into perspective. This week we're not doing that. We were supposed to keep it nice and tight, and it got extra loose.
Oh yeah.
That's the two of us. But without Ari to crack whips around us, we just fall.
Professionals, people. We're professionals. Yeah. So yeah, we'll typically have like a general expectation stuff, and we're also what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to see if I can do it this week, but I'm going to put a thing out on Twitter. Follow us on CIP Podcasts on Twitter, and I will put out like little polls and stuff to see what you guys think about these things, so that way, and then we can also maybe talk about those when we record next week.
Absolutely.
Oh, we have a chatter. Do Johnny Crismel? Do you know Johnny Sins?
I do not know.
We do not know Johnny Sins. Johnny.
I do know Johnny Sins.
Oh, you
I do
do?
know Johnny's. It's a porn star. So
Ah. So
so
we're.
Mr. Yeah, so that guy is having fun with us.
Oh, of course he is. Well,
Of
you
course
know,
he is. Hey, we'll take it.
we have fun. You know,
we have fun.
I'll look him up now. Put him on the stream. No, I'm not.
Go!
So. Okay. So yeah, I think that wraps up our prolonged preview of what we're doing next week. Prolonged. And for those of you who want to, you can stick around. Ethan and I are going to play a video game. We still doing Bloodborne, or do you want to do something else, or what do you?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it.
We usually stream for a little bit after these. We usually like we've been doing it. We usually stream on Saturday nights, and we're just tacking this on the front. So that's so you can stick with us and watch us stream and be silly. All right. So yeah, let me check my notes. Yeah. So like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ethan, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap this puppy up?
No. Thanks for listening to us, checking us out. We hope to entertain and amuse you all.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you back here next week.
Yes. See you next week. Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day.